If I had to pick one belief that keeps moms stuck, it's the idea that it's too late to fix the leaks. And today I'm going to clear that up. As moms, we're often taught that our beauty, our physical appearance, even being at our best has an expiration date. So there's no surprise when that same line of thinking is applied to stopping the leaks. Today I'm going to share why that belief even exists, why it's not true, and what moms really need to pay attention to stop the leaks, even if it's years after having your kids. So let's get into it. So, why do moms in particular think that it's too late to stop the leaks? Number one, no one really told you otherwise. So, if it's something that's been normalized in your circle of friends, maybe you've always associated leakage with motherhood. Maybe it's something that's kind of a laughing joke. We see the commercials, in American culture, it's very accepted to leak. And so, if you don't know that that's an issue or no one's really ever told you that that's something you could get help for, there's really no reason to think that it's something that you could resolve. So that's number one. No one really told you different. Number two, maybe it's not a discussion that you've had with your provider. There's lots of women who don't make it to their 6-week checkup postpartum. That's a prime time to discuss like any pelvic floor problems, any leakage, any pain. Are the tissues healing correctly? Like that's when some of those conversations should be initiated. If they haven't been initiated before that, hopefully they have been. But if they haven't been initiated before that, that's definitely the time for that to be taking place. But if you're in that group of women that didn't even make it to that appointment for various reasons, then it's definitely not going to be something on your radar. If it's not something discussed at your annual GYN appointments, it's not going to be on your radar. If you don't really know that that's something wrong or something that you need to look out for, then when it happens, if you associate that with motherhood, you're probably not going to even recognize that you could do something about it. And then lastly, maybe you're too busy and you just don't have time, and that's a lot of, I think a large percentage of us as moms, where it's very easy to prioritize our children, our families, the organization of our homes. And so if it's just not something on the top of your priority list, leakage is going to be something that falls by the wayside. And over time is going to make you feel like, it kind of is what it is. It's a par for the course. I don't really have time to address it. So this is just something that I have to kind of deal with. And there's a lot of women that fall into that category. And once you kind of buy into that story in your head that this is just a part of motherhood, then you start to look for like external quick fixes, whether it's pads or absorbent underwear or avoiding movement or just stopping the activity that led up to the leakage, like jumping or laughing too hard. That's when those kind of safety mechanisms come into place, because you're just kind of grasping for straws, trying to avoid the embarrassment of having a large accident. And so your time hasn't really expired, because the best time to address it is one, when you're ready to, and two, when you really believe and understand that there's something that you can do about it. So I know you're probably wondering, like, okay, what's the deal? Can I really stop the leaks at any point? And the answer is yes. Our pelvic floor and our bodies have no expiration date. I have helped women in their 20s, 40s, 60s, even in their 80s, and I mean late 80s. These women still are capable of stopping the leaks. And if there's one thing I know about moms, is that our bodies are miraculous. If you have birthed a child, you know the changes your body went to prepare for that pregnancy, to maintain that pregnancy, to deliver that child, and even the changes that your body just continues to go through as a woman. So if you can do that, you're definitely low-key a superhero, number one. And then number two, the answer isn't, am I too late to stop the leaks? It's like, why would I be too late to stop the leaks? Our body can make physical changes at any stage. And so the fortunate thing is that stopping the leaks is more than just changing the physical function of your pelvic floor. Yes, the muscles may need to be strengthened, become more flexible, become more supportive. And those physical changes can happen at any time. But the even deeper and, in my opinion, more important thing is the disruption of patterns that kind of contribute to the leakage. And so these are the more non-tangible things, like patterns in your diet, patterns in your exercise level or your limited level of movement or exercise, patterns in your sleeping habit, even patterns down to how you manage stress. Those are the things that need to be disrupted. And again, the fortunate things that can happen at any age. So there really is no time limit on fixing those things. It's really a matter of being open and believing that your body is capable of these changes. And so leaks are not really a permanent condition because of time. They just become more persistent based on the patterns that you keep repeating. And so I've again helped women in various stages, but instead of using band aids to fix the pads, to fix the leaks like pads or protective underwear, we want to find the long term solutions, disrupt the patterns in addition to making the physical changes. So, luckily for you, there is no expiration in doing those things. What really matters for moms that leak? I am going to go through three core things that every mom that I work with, we always have to come back to. And you want to kind of think of this as your core. Anything that you do outside of this becomes like an extension and an addition, but this core has to be intact. And some of these things I'll kind of get into a little bit detail are things that I wish I truly believed sooner as a mom when I just had my first. And so the three things are belief, support, and timing. These are the three core things that really matter specifically for moms who leak, whether your child is 1 month old or 25 years old. So let's get into number one, belief. And so you have to be able to believe that your body is capable of doing something different. We really have to get out of the quote unquote cultural norms that leaking just comes with the territory of motherhood, because it's simply not true. And we've come a long way. Like that is becoming more and more acknowledged, but there's still like a large group of women who really don't even know that help exists, or they really don't even know that the leaks aren't normal. So belief is number one, believing that your body can do something different, and really maybe even disbelieving that leaks are something that you have to deal with. You're not a failure because you're leaking. You didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with your body, but you do want to kind of be open to healing looking a little differently than doing 100 Kegels a day or doing some super intense program of exercises that you look totally unfamiliar to you. Like stopping the leaks definitely is about belief, but it's also about catering a program and starting at your physical level, wherever that starting point is. Number two would be support. And this is the one that I wish I kind of attached or just learned and believed, no pun intended, a lot sooner in my motherhood journey. And support is the one thing that I do really wish that I had embraced sooner. And so I knew as a PT, I didn't start leaking until after my third kid. So I know I'm a physical therapist. So I knew that wasn't normal. And I knew I needed to get immediate help, but I didn't really embrace the idea of support. Really, I have three kids until after I started leaking after that third kid. And the reason why support is specifically important to moms is because you have to be able to lean on someone, hopefully more than one person, to really make it through that journey. And when you're dealing with leakage, it involves a lot of prioritizing self care. It involves a lot of diet changes. It involves a lot of finding what works for you. You know, what can you commit to? And it's really hard to do that when you don't have support. So you want to embrace one that you don't have to fix this on your own. It is okay to ask for help. That's number one. And then two, setting up that support so that you can maintain whatever progress you make. That is the one lesson that I think will just make the motherhood journey smoother when you have people to lean on when things kind of get out of whack. And leakage, although it may seem completely unrelated, is very much related to your support system. Our pelvis can house trauma, emotion, and pain. And if you don't have someone to lean on so that you're able to release those things and deal with it, that is one of the major triggers for a lot of women who leak. So support is definitely right up there as part of the core that I believe moms just absolutely have to have. And then lastly is timing. It just has to be the right time. And I know that sounds simple, but I think specifically as moms, we all know how it feels when someone's giving you advice before you had your first kid, and you're like, yeah, I know for me, I was like, oh, that's never going to happen. I'm not going to do that with my kids. And now, kid three, I'm like, oh, I totally see what they were talking about. Or when I thought the infant stage was super hard, and now my kids are getting older, and like the preteen years are just like wild. So you start to like replay some of those pieces of advice that you remember hearing like way back when that you didn't give as much credit to. And so I say all that to say sometimes you're just not in a place to receive information. Sometimes you're not in a place where it's the right time for you to address something. So timing is everything, and that's okay because you want to be at a place where you can make those changes, you can receive the suggestions that are being given to you, and then you can implement. Because the whole thing is it's one thing to know, but it's a totally different thing to do. So timing, timing, timing. I can't say that enough. It has to be the right time for you to be able to change your belief, receive the support, and make the changes to stop the leaks for the long term. If this video hit home, I want you to know that as a mom, you're doing a great job. We all want to hear that. And it never hurts to hear that. You did not wait too late. There is nothing wrong with your body. And again, there is no expiration date. When you are ready to address the leakage, you'll be able to stop the leakage. So hopefully that can give you a little like sigh of relief and take that weight off of your shoulders. But I want you to make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the third video of my mom series. And so in the next video, I'll be talking about some common things that moms avoid that actually contribute to making their leaks worse that they really don't realize. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me, there will be a link down below. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Bye.